And we are back. Two Lose Crew coming. Oh, wait, this is a four. Two Lose Crew coming to you, not live, pre recorded from the Bronx, New York City. So excited for this UFC 268 main card down in Madison Square Garden. We won't be attending, we will be watching.
Because we're poor.
Yeah, we're pretty poor, so sadly. But we will be paying for pay-per-view, and we know a couple of people heading down to MSG. Candace is going down there. Candace with John, they're going to be down there. I'm so jealous. We know some people, and then Serge's boy Harry's going to be there too. And we know a good amount of people that's going to be at that card. Not us, though. We will be watching. Let's get straight. I don't even want to go around this.
Probably the people's main event, if you think about it.
Yeah.
This is a fan favorite right here.
I mean, the last three fights, Zhang Weili versus Rose.
This card in its entirety is just, it's stacked.
Usman, break jaws versus get the jaw broken. I don't want to give away who I'm going to predict on that one. I probably already did. But for this fight, we have these two men, veterans in the game. We have Gaethje, 30, he's about to be 33, versus 35-year-old Michael Chandler. Even though he doesn't fight like he's 35. I mean, he fights like he's 22. He's so fast and athletic. Both fighting for some title implications. Safe to say that the winner of this fight is probably going to go ahead and fight for the belt against Oliveira. Michael Chandler didn't have great success for that belt. Gaethje also, coming in and hopefully skip Poirier. Is Poirier even going to fight?
Poirier, they're fighting in December.
Oh man, they're fighting in December. Wow, what a brain fart. Now, honestly, I don't know. I don't want to get into a Poirier prediction on that fight, but this fight is safe to say that within the next 6 months to 8 months, probably going to be fighting for the belt. Maybe once again on one side, for the other side. Let's see. Now, me personally, I feel that Justin Gaethje is going to get this one. And it's crazy because I keep picking fighters before, I promise I'm picking fighters before I even look at the odds. And the odds makers are right in line with what I'm thinking. I don't think that Justin Gaethje should have opened the moderate favorite. It should have been slight. Because we know Michael Chandler, he almost got a knockout victory his last fight. He almost knocked out Oliveira. It was bad. It was back and forth. The men were scrambling. Oliveira was, eventually went back to his, I wouldn't say corner. They don't really sit in the corner like in boxing. But he went back to his side of the cage, regrouped himself, recomposed himself, and that fight, obviously ended against Chandler's, it didn't end the way he would have wanted, but you can see the dog in Chandler. No quit, scrappy, quick, smart, not afraid to shoot his gun. He's not gun shy at all. Justin Gaethje is known for not being gun shy. Justin Gaethje used to be known for being a little reckless.
Throws caution to the wind.
Pandemic starts, and for some reason, Gaethje starts to become more calculated. He becomes much more patient in the octagon. He waits for his openings. He waits for his shots, and then he goes in for the kill. Let's take a look at Justin Gaethje's previous fights. Khabib, we could grab that one, throw it out in the garbage. We already know why. Khabib is one of the best in history. The Tony Ferguson fight was so violent, and Ferguson, he hasn't been the same lately. He's been taking beatings after beating. Donald quit a lot Cerrone. This man loves Cerrone, respects him so much. I do. I respect him. I love him too. But this man, you tickle him in the gut, and he just falls over and starts. The man quits. Stop it, everyone. The man just quits, and I'm just speaking facts. You go back and watch his last 7 fights.
A bunch of subscribers now.
Yeah, you guys could disagree with me, obviously. Put it in the comment section.
Disrespect.
Cerrone, yeah, it's a free win. Barbosa, beats Barbosa, beat James Vick, lost to Poirier, Eddie Alvarez. But I feel like the new Justin Gaethje is much more improved. Obviously, we're gonna take that Habib and throw it out into the garbage. But I feel like he's so calculated. He's so patient. He's not going to become an overzealous fighter the way that Oliveira kind of allowed Michael Chandler to dictate the pace. And Chandler came in aggressive, quick, and Oliveira was like, all right, I'm going to match exactly what you're doing. And it was a bit of a mistake in the beginning. Gaethje, the new and improved Gaethje, I feel is going to be very patient, rotate the octagon, use his leg kicks, which he loves to use those leg kicks. Gaethje is known to be a wrestler as well, even though he doesn't really ever need to use it. So I don't think that Chandler is going to go in and try to out-wrestle Gaethje. I think that that's just going to neutralize the same way that Usman versus Colby Covington, these guys don't even try to wrestle each other either. It's just straight up stand-up fight. I feel like we're going to have the same thing here. Gaethje probably, I would say, because Chandler's so aggressive in the UFC and really wants to prove a point, I feel that maybe I would say Gaethje by TKO or KO in the second round, just because of Chandler overshooting, getting a little bit out of control, and then Gaethje calmly taking over. Now, who knows if that's even right or correct, because Madison Square Garden is going to be rocking that night, and we might see the old Gaethje and say, you know what, forget all of this careful, pandemic, calculated fighting that he's gotten into, because, we see him in the pandemic. That's how he fights. He just fights very calculated. He might say, forget that. I'm going to just go back to the old pre-pandemic Gaethje and just give people a show. I hope not. If he does that, it might be bad for him. But I would say he won't. Gets the second round TKO KO. That is my prediction.
So with Justin Gaethje, ever since he's hooked up with Trevor Whitman, and Trevor Whitman is going to be a busy man that night, having those three fights with Rose, Usman, and of course Justin Gaethje. And ever since Justin Gaethje hooked up with Trevor Whitman, he's become much more calculated, much more decisive on how he throws his strike. He doesn't really throw caution into the wind, a la the Tony Ferguson fight, where we saw a completely different Justin Gaethje. Throw the Khabib fight off into the side, because I don't know what it's kind of looking at. You look at that Khabib fight, and Justin Gaethje was just kind of like a deer in the headlights in that fight. Don't know what happened, but here we go. Title implications. He's gonna fight Michael Chandler, and Chandler is, like you said, he's a real scrappy guy, former champion in Bellator, and makes a very, very splashes onto the UFC with that devastating victory over Dan Hooker. But that aside, couldn't put it together to beat Oliveira for the title. Now we're here. So I think Chandler is probably going to try to utilize his wrestling. I believe he.
Oh wow! Okay.
I don't think he's going to want to stand in there and take those shots from Gaethje, punches, the kicks. While Justin Gaethje is known for his wrestling, I name one time that he's ever used it in the UFC. We just don't know. So I think what factors into this fight is how decisive are Gaethje's shots going to be, and how well is Michael Chandler going to do in the wrestling. We haven't seen him used it really, in the UFC yet, until he got finished by Charles Oliveira. We all know how that went. But I think if Chandler can set up the takedowns and really set that pace, it could be an interesting night for Michael Chandler. But I am leaning towards Justin Gaethje just because this is a Trevor Whitman Justin Gaethje, and I think he's put it together so well against Tony Ferguson. Don't know what happened with Khabib, but I think Justin Gaethje edges out the victory in this one. Maybe I would say maybe about a 4th round stoppage. This is definitely one to keep your eyes on because this one as well could get very, very.
Is this fight 5 rounds?
Oh, this fight is not 5 rounds. I'm thinking. See the
Is
whole.
it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not
3
right?
rounds.
Because they do that sometimes.
They do it. Yeah, you know, Nate Diaz is kind of like set that. I'm over here thinking this is an interim title fight. Forgive me. Look for maybe a round 2, round 3 stoppage.
Okay, on the Justin Gaethje side, right?
On the Justin Gaethje side, yeah. Look for a round. And if Chandler does it, I think if Chandler wins, it's definitely going to be because he utilized that wrestling. Because, like I said, we haven't seen Justin Gaethje really use his wrestling.
All right. So we disagree on the way the fight will play out when it comes to Chandler either using his wrestling, as Big Lou thinks. I don't believe he's going to use it at all whatsoever, even try to. But we're going to see how it ends up happening. But we do both agree on Justin Gaethje getting either a 2nd or 3rd round finish against Michael Chandler on the 3rd fight of the main card on UFC 268 MSG. For us, we are 2 Lose Crew. Please, if you like the video, hit us with a like button. Comment down below with any agreement, disagreement that you have. When you subscribe, please, if you subscribe, please hit notifications, the alerts, so that you can see whenever we post something up. And until next time, guys.
Peace.